Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-May 2022. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business. As always, we're going to start this reading off nice and smooth with an oracle card, just to take a little vibe check for the lovely Capricorns out there. I hope you're all doing well. God, Spirit Team, talk to me. What do we got for my Cappies? And yeah, we're just going to look at this first card super quick, then we'll get into the full tarot reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you might want to lean into. It's always very interesting, especially when it ties into the full reading. But let's get this card out here. Let's go. What do we got for Capricorn, my God? I always like to start it off with this cool little vibe check, and we have an ultra creative, imaginative card starting us off. This bodes well for any projects or crafts you might be doing. We'll talk about it more in depth because there's a lot of symbolism there. But before we fully start dissecting this card, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the May subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you're active on Twitter, my handle's at kyleofcupsoracle. Please feel free to shoot me a tweet sometime, but into the reading we go. If you look at the imagery on this, you see the art model. Literally, there's sculptures, there's paintings, there's all sorts of artistic inspiration, creativity that could be overflowing. So in this time, you might be having a lot of really good ideas. Your mind could be very active. Now, the inverse to this energy is somebody who might be overthinking quite a bit. So hopefully you're not in that mode where you're trapped up in the mind, trapped up in the brain. But this does speak about the beauty of creative outlets. For some of you, this could be starting some sort of business related to art or creativity. Letting yourself shine through artistic expression is nice. But overall, in general, if that doesn't sound like you or something you're feeling in this time, Spirit could be asking you to do so. Or you could just have a very active mind. Let's get into tarot, because sometimes that links to the reading, sometimes it doesn't. It's just a little footnote. But we're going to get you 3 tarot cards in the upright, then we'll intuitively clarify. So my God, Spirit Team, talk to me about Capricorn. What do we got mid-May? Now, last week's reading was titled Beware of This Person, and I only title readings like that when certain individuals might pop up in the energy that are a little dicey. Whether it's a romantic thing, whether it's a friendship, it talks about really watching the company you keep, keeping your head on a swivel, right? And you know me, I'm an optimistic reader. I try to stay optimistic as possible. But if a dicey energy shows up in a spread, I'm going to let you know. Let's get these first cards out here, though. Because, yeah, that was last week's reading. The energies always shift and change, right? We could have a totally different message this week. Usually do. Okay, so we're going to need to break this down because we have a lot of depth showing up front and center. We have the High Priestess, but we also have the Ten of Swords here. Right in the center. That could be some sort of pain. That could be rough. I don't want to talk about it too much just yet, because if you're a fan of tarot, you know what that card could be. Okay, we got the Ace of Cups. So we do have a watery energy. We do have an emotional energy here, but this Ten of Swords is something we're really going to need to analyze, because it could be a warning of some sort. But let's just go through one by one. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get the juicier intuitive stuff. Now, some of you, your intuition might be like firing on all cylinders, or you might feel like something's coming down the road, but I don't want to get too intuitive just yet. This High Priestess, the matron of psychics, intuitives, that beautiful dreamy energy I was speaking about in the very front end with that oracle card, is represented by her. Sacred knowledge, ritual, spirituality in general. This isn't the most communicative, but it is an energy of intuition, feeling something deep in your gut, right? Trusting those instincts. I love the High Priestess, but for some of you, it could just be an interest in spirituality. She could also represent a water sign, Pisces, Cancer. Some people say Scorpio too, but let's keep it moving to the center. The one thing that's really poking out at us here is this Ten of Swords, right? Now, of course, we still have to clarify to get more detail, but I'll just list some of the things that it could mean, positive and negative, because believe it or not, every card has that dualistic energy. The Ten of Swords is some sort of ending, right? It could be some sort of pain. For some people, this could be losing somebody very near and dear to you, whether it's a severed relationship or even losing someone to death possibly. I'm not trying to be a fearmonger, of course, because it could just indicate pain, depression, anxiety, things like that. So you really need to tie this, whether it's something you feel like it's coming down the road or somebody that you're grieving over, maybe somebody's even grieving you with this Ten of Swords. when we clarify it, will really tell the tale, because there's so many things. It could also be some sort of betrayal. But the positive of this card is there's nowhere to go but up, right? Aside from endings and all the other things I was speaking about, when a Ten of Swords comes in, you build on that. You continue to grow up and glow up. On the very back end, we got the Ace of Cups. Now, tying in with the watery energy of the High Priestess, the intuitive, the creative, the emotional, all aces are opportunities. This is very new. So whereas the Ten of Swords is an ending, the Ace of Cups is a beginning. So with this spread, we could be seeing some sort of evolution or a cycle change, a big shift of some sort. This could be a good opportunity coming your way. This could represent love situations. So we'll just have to see. It could even be your emotional state. So there's a lot of things with this Ace of Cups. We're going to want to dive deeper on all this though, Capricorn. Let's jump in and clarify. So let me get that card straightened out. All right, let's shuffle this deck up one time here for you, Capricorn. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on this High Priestess. And as always, if you're feeling anything off of this spread, that's why the box is here. You could play along. You could drop anything you're feeling down below in the comments. I don't mind whatsoever, and I actually encourage it. Let's see what's up with this High Priestess. And I just want to say, while we get this card out, this could represent other people in your life too. It doesn't just have to be you, okay? All right. This is somebody really trying to fight off their own gut feelings. This is weird. All right, so this is somebody having that intuitive sense, feeling something deep down on the inside, but they're kind of like trying to push it to the wayside, like, I can't believe it, I won't believe it type of energy. Like, even though they're feeling it on an emotional level, feeling it deep down, is somebody kind of fighting against themselves in a way too. Now, the Seven of Wands can also be a card of determination, seeing something through. So for a lot of you, if you're going through a painful time, you could be turning to spirituality, of course. But it is inherently a card of conflict if you're not turning to spirituality for whatever reason. The Seven of Wands with this High Priestess is just telling me, like, you really shouldn't fight any gut feelings, especially if we have warnings in a spread. Like, if you feel like a situation is going to be messed up, maybe don't go that route. Maybe don't drive down that road. Maybe don't go to this party. Maybe don't talk to this individual. All right, don't fight those strong gut feelings, because we have instinct for a reason. That's what this is telling me. So take that for what it's worth. We're going to keep it moving over to the Ten of Swords. Okay. And as I always say, this could be other things as well, okay? My word is not law when it comes to tarot. There's infinite ways we could look at these cards. That's just what I'm feeling, though. Let's see what's up with this Ten of Swords, please. And then I do want to get over to that Ace of Cups, too. Okay. All right, yeah, we have the Nine of Swords showing up in reverse. Yeah, now both of these cards are big cards of the paranormal. That's not the main message, but I just want to point that out to everyone watching. The Ten of Swords, the Nine of Swords, these are extremely paranormal cards. So you might be having very interesting dreams. You might be seeing paranormal things, especially with the High Priestess here. Now, the Nine of Swords is a card of nervousness. The fact that it's showing up in reverse is somebody trying to suppress, subdue something. This, of course, could be some sort of ending with somebody masking how they're really feeling about it. So if you've recently gone through an ending, whatever realm of life it might be, you might be suppressing it a little bit. You might be trying to put on a brave face, or this could be your individual, your person, or whoever you're going through the situation with, trying to put on a brave face. This does tell me some sort of cycle end here. This is some sort of possible big ending. Now, I'm not saying it's coming right down the pipeline. This could be something that recently passed as well, but the Ten of Swords, the Nine of Swords together, even though the Nine of Swords is in reverse. And I'm also getting the vibe of somebody accepting their fate too. Like, all right, well, if this is going to end, bring it. All right, like if that's the result, whatever, let's do it. It's an interesting vibe. So we're picking up a lot of things here, but overall, this could be something in your life going out the door, okay? And I'll just keep it real like that. Something that has or will be. So we're going to move over to the Ace of Cups, because like I said, with every ending comes a fresh beginning. Okay, we're going to keep our optimism. Then we'll do a quick little recap. Could be pain, but I still get the vibe of suppression. Right? Somebody like suppressing, emotionally battling, especially with the front end. But let's see what's up with this Ace of Cups. Okay. And then we'll get a shadow card as well. What do we got here with that Ace of Cups? Thank you. Okay, we have the Hierophant. Yeah, and sometimes in life you need to clear out the gunk. You need to do some spring cleaning. You need to make way for new things to come in. We have the Hierophant in the upright. Now, this can also be a Taurus in your life. This could represent how you might be feeling during Taurus season. It's day-to-day life. So a lot of you could find solace in your routine. A lot of you could be trying to find solace in keeping yourselves busy. This is firm and steady, though. So like I said, I don't think whatever this ending is about is like a complete deal breaker. I do feel some solid emotional stability here on the back end. So a lot of you could be having something really good come in. With the Hierophant, though, like I said, it could be power structures, corporations, religious institutions. It could be marriages, long-lasting relationships showing up here that could be on the mind. So all those topics could be at play within this spread. However, with the solid underneath this Ace of Cups, a lot of you could be receiving some sort of renewal or some sort of opportunity to start something fresh, which is good. But it's stabilizing emotions. Regardless of what we have here in the center, like everything will be okay, everything will be fine. Let's talk about it real quick. We'll do a recap before we get into the shadow card. And of course, remember, you tie it to your situation. In position number 1, we have the High Priestess with the 7 of Wands in the upright. Like I said, some of you might be trying to find some determination and perseverance through spirituality, helping yourself feel better through spiritual understandings, meditations, you know the deal. However, this is somebody fighting against their own inner judgment. This is somebody possibly fighting against their own intuition and instinct. So this could be a little warning here. Spirit saying like, hey, don't fight those gut feelings. If you feel like you shouldn't drive down that road, don't drive down that road. If you feel like you shouldn't go to this event, don't go to that event. In the center, we have the 10 of Swords with the 9 of Swords in reverse. Like I said, very paranormal. A lot of spirit action going on in this spread this week. But this is some sort of cycle ending. And I'm going to keep it simple at that. Now, even though the 9 of Swords is in reverse, I do feel like somebody possibly accepting that fate. Like, all right, well, if this is going out, let it. Or if this is going to happen, if this is going to end, if this is my fate, let it be. Someone going with the flow. But this could be some sort of ending. On the very back end, the Ace of Cups with the Hierophant in the upright. Emotional stability, possible good things coming in towards the tail end of Taurus season here. Very nice. For some of you, it could be the realm of relationships. But once again, the solace. I just feel like telling you everything will be okay with the opportunity and the stability of the Hierophant. So please take a screenshot of that. If you're not tied to Taurus, of course. We're going to get you a shadow card real quick just to tie this reading up. Let's shuffle up this Shadowland Tarot one time for Capricorn. See what's going on for my friends, please. And yeah, when we do this, it could be something that's been in the shadows for a while, a shadow side of yourself. Even if it's a positive card, we'll look at the inverse. There's nothing wrong, nothing scary about it. Let's see what we got here for Capricorn, please. Thank you. Yeah, 10 of Swords showing up again in the shadows. So we have a repeat. Like I said, every so often the shadow card does show up. And it links in with the reading itself. And here it is. Okay? So whatever it is that is possibly ending or has ended in the center here, the 10 of Swords is a still possible grieving moment or something that's sticking around. Even though pardon me, I did see some emotional stability on the back end of the spread and said everything will be fine. When the 10 of Swords shows up in the shadows, it's some sort of pain and hurt that might stick around for a while. Whether this is a 10 of Swords that was way, way back or something you're currently going through, the pain might stick around for a little bit. And that's okay. That's part of the human experience. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're taking active steps towards healing those wounds. Okay, Capricorn? So we'll leave that as is. Okay, I'm not going to pile on the message. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the May subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the April subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced in my community tab Monday, May 2nd. But for the May subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Tarot Illuminati. You'll get the full kit if you're a lucky winner. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments what other type of reading you would like to see from me, because I'll continue to do the weeklies, but I really want to mix it up and give you guys what you want. And yeah, after that, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of May, I'll put the winners in my community tab, my friends. Much love to you, and I'll see you next time.